Hello there. This is AndyT, your instructor for 3D Studio at U of M. Sorry I can't be there today. I'm filming this video from my lovely office down in Yellow Springs, Ohio at Antioch College. And let me move that a little bit. And what I'm showing you today for Wednesday slides are my favorite activity that we'll be doing. So every week, one or two students will give a presentation to the group about something, in visual culture that interests them. For myself, preferably if something was 3D oriented, sculpture, installation, architecture. I always like those kinds of things. However, there's no requirements or stipulations. So some students have treated Wednesday slides as Wednesday obsessions. So anything that you find really compelling. So it can be artist's work. It can be, in a digital realm. It can be video, photography. Some students have played music videos or played songs. So there's a variety of ways to approach Wednesday slides. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start off and I'm going to show you one of my favorite YouTube channels called The Art Assignment. And The Art Assignment is produced by PBS Digital Studios. They do things like Idea Channel, which is really great, amongst others. And Art Assignment was started by Sarah Urist Green and John Green. So Sarah Green worked for years as a curator of art at the Indianapolis Art Museum, which is a great art museum. A few years ago, they were in charge of the American Pavilion at the Venice Biennial, or the Biennale. And Sarah Green has recently stopped working at the art museum, working as a curator. Now she does the art assignment full-time. Working for PBS as sort of an art advocate and art educator is her full-time job now. Her husband, John Green, many people are familiar with. He's a young adult author. His book, The Fault in Our Stars, spent 120 weeks, 150 weeks on the New York Times bestseller list. You can buy it at CVS or Walmart. And I know him. I've read that book, and I've read Will Grayson. But I first didn't come to John Green's work, his literary work. I found out about him and Hank Green, his brother, the Vlog Brothers, within the last year and a half. I saw Hank Green's video about gender identity and thought that was really poignant and very tidy way to sort of talk about gender and sexual orientation and behavior. And from there, I learned about this thing, the Vlog Brothers, and they go back and forth. And I have binge watched all of the Vlog Brothers in chronological order, their videos dating back to 2007. It's in playlists. So I went through this obsession for a while. And in the videos, John talks about his wife, Sarah. He refers to her as the Yeti, and that's because his intention was to never show her on screen. She would be as elusive to the film as to the filming as a Yeti might be, difficult to try to capture in photograph form. But as time went by, watching these videos in chronological order, I learned that his wife, Sarah, is a curator. It's like, that's great. I love art. And then realizing that she curated a show down in Alabama that two of my very close friends were in, but I had no idea, I didn't know that it had any relationship to any of this. I didn't know that she was famous or that her husband was famous. Didn't realize any of that. And so then through the Vlog Brothers, I learned about John Green's work, and then I learned about Sarah Green's work, and they've now are collaborating on the Art Assignment. So I think it's a great way to talk about contemporary art, primarily by not just lecturing to people about the art and showing pictures, but instead by having you, the audience, embody the process. So you learn about contemporary art by doing contemporary art. And this video I love. This is actually a person that I went to grad school with, this woman Lauren Zoll. And she mentions a little bit about being a metalsmith. And she did amazing work when she was at Cranbrook. And it was very colorful. Her work has always been about color. And she would work with a lot of toxic chemicals to get these beautiful patinas of color for these steel, copper, brass sculptures that she was making. So in her video, she talks about being unwell and that being a result of her artistic practice. So there's a lot of things in the art world where people get exposed to toxic materials that then make it difficult. They no longer allow you to make that work. So she mentions that briefly, and I didn't find out about the change in her work until I saw her show up on Art Assignment. And she's based in Indianapolis, where John and Sarah Green are. I think it's a great assignment, and what I love is John and Sarah Green. John is willing to sort of play the part of the fool or the jester, to ask questions, to kind of instigate a conversation, and you'll see his sense of humor and Sarah kind of laughing at him. They're a cute couple. And then Sarah sort of helps set him straight by giving him examples in art history. And one of the best ones is when they talk about the Claude glass, which you'll see in the video. It so predicts Instagram. So can you believe it? The 1800s we had Instagram. So you watch the video, see what I'm talking about. And after that, I will have a link to their follow-up video. So as people get the assignment and they produce work, they turn it into their Tumblr for the art assignment, and they will have video clips. And so they do a best of, or they do sort of a sampling of people's work for it. And Sarah gives kind of a review for it, which is really nice. So I will stop talking so you can watch those videos. Have a good day.